A Facebook post has led to an arrest over the attempted abduction of a young boy at Adamstown. The 11-year-old was riding his bike over the railway crossing at about 3 o'clock yesterday when a car pulled over and the driver told him to get in. The incident was reported to police and the boy's family posted a description on Facebook of the man and the vehicle. Soon after, friends spotted a car that matched. They took a photo and sent it to police. Officers later charged a 47-year-old man with attempted abduction.
The Newcastle rugby community is mourning the loss of Hamilton Hawks player Tavita Marley. The 22-year-old was killed when the car he was a passenger in crashed at Gateshead yesterday morning.
A drive home which took a tragic turn and claimed the life of 22-year-old Tavita Marley, described by his friends as full of life with an infectious personality.
He was a great kid. Like, he's not only a friend, he was more like a son to me.
Tavita was killed instantly when in the early hours of Sunday morning, the car he was travelling in slammed into a power pole on the Pacific Highway at Gateshead. Hamilton first grader Steve Sione was driving. In the front passenger seat was his girlfriend. In the back next to Tavita, Colts team member Tweety Arcee and Hamilton first grader Tyson Watney. They were on their way back from a barbecue on the Central Coast. Watney remains in John Hunter Hospital. He's in a stable condition. The other three have been discharged.
The group of guys that were actually physically in the car and some of Tavita's closest friends are actually in counselling as we speak.
Tavita's death has torn apart the team he loved so dearly. He was a promising young player who was into his second season as inside centre with the Hamilton Hawks.
A real good young kid, you know, 22 years of age, and did everything he could for the club on and off the field.
And it's a sport he lived for.
Yeah, he loved it. Like, he loves rugby.
Crash investigators are still trying to determine what caused the accident. Early indications show wet weather may have been a factor.
We're trying to stay together, keep our heads up and trying to stay positive.
Stephanie Jeans, NBN News.
The state's independent pricing tribunal has approved rate increases for the Hunter over the next 7 years. Newcastle and Muswellbrook ratepayers will be slapped with increases of up to 8.6%, but it's Lake Macquarie residents who'll be hardest hit.
In less than a month, Newcastle property owners will be forking out 8.6% more for their annual rates. Today, the state's independent pricing tribunal gave the green light for Newcastle City Council to raise rates 5% above the 3.6% pegged increase.
But always a difficult situation in terms of asking for more money, but we believe that the benefit is going to outweigh that, and in fact the community, when we did a survey, said that 74% of that community were in support of a special rate increase.
It'll fund a 10-year civic project program planned to bring Hunter Street back to life and upgrade Blackbutt Reserve, but not everyone's convinced it'll be money well spent.
I think it's far too much what we pay now.
Being a pensioner, added costs and not getting value for money.
But for those at Lake Macquarie, their rate increase isn't as high as requested, meaning council will struggle to sort out its $16 million budget deficit and upgrade assets.
We actually had $20 million to improve our pools, $12 million to improve our libraries and $7 million to improve our town centres. That's not there now.
The rate increases here in Lake Macquarie means residential ratepayers will be paying an extra $1.22 a week over the next 7 years, while business ratepayers will be slapped with an extra $6.13.
Christy Reading, NBN News.
Organisers of Newcastle's embattled Matara Festival will present their case to Council tomorrow night as the fight continues over the event's future. Council has backed down on some proposed changes, including the festival dates, but a stoush over funding remains. It has concerns about the fairground's commercial operators, claiming there could be a conflict of interest. But Matara organisers are resisting changing companies. They say they still won't be able to afford to put on the parade.
Environmentalists have again attacked Newcastle City Council after it felled another fig tree over the weekend. They say there's not enough communication after a Morton Bay Fig was cut down in Hamilton's Gregson Park.
It's the latest carve-up that's caused community confusion and anger. On Saturday, council's chainsaws were out on a Morton Bay Fig in Hamilton's Gregson Park, and residents are not impressed.
I was walking to work at 8 o'clock in the morning, or 8:15, and I saw them pulling the trees down. And I thought, well, no one's told us that they're going to pull these trees down.
We're asking for transparency. We're asking for a properly laid out policy on what needs to be done about these trees. And we do want the community involved.
Council has identified 15 trees across Newcastle it says are at risk. It's already removed 4 of those from Arthur Park at Adamstown. Council says it's a must-do and part of a tree's life cycle.
They drop limbs on members of the public or fall over in strong winds, so there's a public safety risk that has to be addressed.
But residents and environmentalists say more needs to be done to bridge the communication gap.
I think that there is now widespread among the community a lack of trust of council so-called expertise. These trees are more than just simply structures to the people of Newcastle. They represent a living heritage for people.
4 more trees are scheduled to come down in Gregson Park in the coming weeks, while a replacement tree plan will be completed by the end of the year.